Judge Mablean will be life, because in everything we do, it involves the law. You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I'll make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Dewey Burns is suing Katrina Lewis in the amount of $379. Mr. Burns claims Ms. Lewis borrowed and broke his espresso machine. Ms. Lewis claims the plaintiff didn't want the espresso machine in the first place, so she feels she shouldn't have to pay.
All rise. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding. Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. This is the matter of Dewey Burns versus Katrina Lewis. You're suing her for the cost of your espresso machine.
That is
right?
correct, ma'am.
You want it, well, she says it's broken, and you say you destroyed it. I loaned you my machine, and now I don't have it. I want you to pay for another one.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
So basically what happened, I got married last year in June. On our wedding day, my mother had gotten us an espresso machine. Now, I used to drink a lot of coffee, but ever since I met Lily, I basically kicked coffee out of my diet entirely, like caffeine entirely. She's convinced me to drink water and tea for the most part, but my mom only knew how the old me liked coffee. She didn't know about how the new me was doing the health kick. Well, I had gotten the espresso machine, and my mother's a great lady. You never want to upset her or disappoint her. It's like the worst thing I've. She's sweet. So I called her up, and I admit I lied a little bit. I told her that I loved the gift. It was great. It was the best thing ever. But honestly, I rarely used it. It ended up in the garage for the most part because of Lily and I not drinking coffee at all.
You were afraid to tell your mother you were no longer drinking coffee?
I mean, she's a very nice lady. She's fragile, so.
She's that fragile?
Yeah, I mean.
You say, Mommy, for health reasons, I'm no longer drinking coffee. I love the machine, the espresso machine, but can I replace it with a tea machine?
I mean, my mom and I drink coffee. It was kind of like a thing. I didn't
ritual between you and her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then from that point on, the defendant, Katrina, is my coworker. We work at an advertising office where we do online marketing. And when I first met her, she's always been a caffeine junkie. And she always used to drink those 16-ounce energy drink cans at least twice, sometimes 3 times a day.
Wow.
And
I love it.
I always used to
addicted.
joke around with her and tell her that they were eventually going to kill her if she didn't stop drinking them and how bad they were. And she would always just laugh at me. And so one day we were talking about coffee, and my espresso machine came into the conversation.
And it's sitting in your garage.
Yeah, so it's sitting in my garage, not really getting any use. She asked if she could, borrow it since it wasn't getting any use.
She doesn't know about it, so how did she ask if she could borrow it?
Well, when we were talking, she had basically said that she is a caffeine junkie. She drinks a lot of coffee, and I told her that she should stop drinking them and drink a more natural way, get her caffeine in a more natural way with coffee. Well, first I suggested tea, but she completely shot that idea down. So I suggested, or I told her that I had a really nice espresso machine just sitting in my garage, not getting any use. And at that point, she said, since you're not getting any use out of it, can I borrow it? I told her it was okay for her to borrow it. And
Did she say borrow? Okay.
Yeah,
That's your version. Okay.
She said borrow. And I told her it was okay for her to borrow it. So I had brought it in the next day, and she had really loved it. She was slowly starting to, over time, wean herself off of the energy drinks and drink more coffee. And she let the coworkers use it as well during the week, which I was okay with. I said that was fine.
And even he used it himself. He doesn't show his wife, but he was.
I'm going to give you a chance to talk.
Yeah.
I was wondering when you were going to butt in, because I figured that caffeine high was going to kick in a minute, and you weren't going to be able to stand there too long without saying something, but, control the caffeine.
So basically, a few weeks passed by. She asked if I wanted it back, and I said, not right now. I don't really need it. But then one weekend, my mother called me and said that she was coming to visit. And I was super excited. I hadn't seen my mom since the wedding, which was, you know, over a year ago. And so I was really, really excited, but in the conversation, she had mentioned that she can't wait to use the espresso machine that she had gotten me. So at this point, I kind of freaked out, and I was like, uh-oh, I kind of need to get it back from Katrina. So the next day
that's the only time he ever wanted it. Like, I
Miss
asked him multiple
Katrina.
times if he wanted
Miss
it back.
Lewis.
No, didn't want it. So
Ms. Lewis.
I came in the next day and asked her, you know, I would like to get my caffeine machine back. My mom's coming. I'd like to, you know, keep it in my house, keep up appearances, let her use it because she drinks coffee as well as me. So I figured
Wow,
I'd
that's a
have
lot to
drink.
go through.
Yeah.
Instead of just telling Mommy, I gave it away.
exactly.
I broke
He's mama's
it.
boy.
I,
He's
whatever.
mama's boy.
I don't drink
yeah.
coffee anymore, Mommy. I gave it away.
Well, it's like
Now,
a
how
tradition.
old are you? You so scared of your mom. You're not scared of your mama to tell her that?
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
Do with it what you want is not take it home during the week and bring it back on Monday. Do with it what you want is keep it, give it away, tear it up. I don't care. Do with it what you want.
And later,
So you just need to be quiet. Now, why in the world do you think you have something to say? Shut your mouth.
I would never have
What
sold.
did I say? Quit while you're ahead.
we're back with the case of Dewey Burns, who is suing Katrina Lewis for $379.
You can just say, Mommy, I don't drink coffee anymore.
Exactly.
But we could end up drinking coffee eventually.
Okay, so what happened? You asked for the machine back and
And she said that it broke.
it broke?
Yeah, and I said, what do you
Really?
mean it broke? And she said,
Oh, that
I
machine
don't know,
broke.
things just break sometimes. So at this point, I was like, okay, we'll bring it in. We'll see if we can fix it. She brought it in the next day. It wasn't fixable. So I told her, you know, I let you borrow it. You were responsible for this. I'm going to need the $379.
For a year-old espresso machine that's used?
Well, I had to buy a new espresso machine because of the fact that she broke it to keep up appearances with my mom.
Well, but
So I
that was
have-
the
Just say
value
no.
that's the value of the new one you bought. That's not the value of the one that she had.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was around the same as the
Yours was
cost
a
of
year
the other
old.
one.
It
Yeah.
had been used. Go on, Ms. Lewis.
So, I mean, I told him multiple times, do you want it back? I asked more than twice. I asked, do you want
I
it
only
back? And
recall
he
once.
said, no, no. And they said, you can do with it what you want.
That's
do with
what he
it what
said.
you want. Exactly. That's what he said. I mean, to any logical person, you'd think, oh, okay, like, it's mine. It's a gift. I mean,
No, that
do
was
with
like
that what you
everybody
want.
was
Okay,
getting
now
a lot
you
of use out of
cannot.
it. You
Hey,
gotta-
Mr. Burns, you all have had plenty of time to discuss this among yourselves. I don't even want you to look over there. Keep your eyes on me.
Yeah, so everyone in the office loved it. Like, I was using it in the office. Like, he offered, you know, he said, I have a machine I'm not using. It's collecting dust,
So
you know?
you didn't ask to borrow it.
I mean, he offered it, and then I said, okay, yeah, I'll borrow it,
So,
you know?
okay, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
I have a machine, you can use it. Or I have a machine, I'm not using it. May I borrow it? Now, which was it?
Yeah, it was the second one. I
Okay.
asked to borrow it, yeah.
All right.
But he wasn't using it, and then I asked multiple times, do you want it back? And he said, no, do with it what you want. And we were using it in the office. Everyone loved it. The boss loved it. He was using it behind his wife's back, you know, and now she'll know about it. But I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean,
didn't tell her
he
I was
just.
on TV.
If he likes tea, he likes tea. If he likes coffee, he likes coffee.
Okay,
like, you
so
can just
now
say
everybody's
whatever.
using the machine, you're
Yeah.
using it, he asked for it back. What happened?
So then that weekend where he was freaking out that his mom was coming, it wasn't working. And I hit the button, it just didn't go on. And, you know, I don't even think it's my fault because everyone in the office was using it. Like, it could have been anyone else in the office. It could have been
Okay,
him
at
for
the
all
point
I know.
when you discovered and turned it on and tried to use it and it was not working, was
Yes,
it at the
it was.
office or at your house?
It was at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, but like
All right.
I had just taken it from home. Like it stopped working. Like we've
So
been
your
using it a lot.
contention is he gave it to you anyway because
Yeah.
you said do with it what you want.
Yep,
So now
exactly.
you believe that it's a gift
It's a gift. Yeah.
and it's yours.
Yep.
He
And-
doesn't ever want it back.
Yeah.
And I would never
I
give that if that
tried
was
to
a
get it
gift.
back. Like out of niceness, I was like, "Do you want it back?"
Okay,
Like,
but I
no,
got
no.
that. You don't have
Yeah.
to repeat
My
it.
mom
And-
gave it to me. I would never
Yeah.
give that to her as a gift.
And now he's regifting it.
Did you ever use the phrase do with it what you want?
Yes.
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 Do with it what you want. You use
Like-
that phrase.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like saying take it home during the week because a lot of people
No.
were using it.
Do with it what you want is not take it home during the week and bring it back on Monday. Do with it what you want is keep it, give it away, tear it up, throw it away, break it, do with it what you want. That's a wide open phrase. Give it to somebody else. I don't care. Do with it what you want. You understand the English language?
Yes.
You're an educated man. You're in advertising. I know you understand the importance of words and language in advertising.
Absolutely.
Right. So when you say do with it what you want, that's exactly what she could do, including break it.
But I mean, I wouldn't give it away to her. I mean, it was
Do with it
probably
what you
poorly
want.
phrasing.
If she gives it away herself, she's done what she wants, so you don't have it anymore. You've bought another espresso machine. That's what you needed to do to keep from, if that was so important to you to make up this appearance with your mother, you're making your mother out to be like she's a, crazy woman or something over an espresso machine. We give you a gift. Like I used to tell my daughter, I give you a gift because I think that you may like the gift. But if you don't like the gift, it's okay for you to say, Mommy, I don't like that. Or, Mommy, I can't use that. I appreciate the thought, but I can't use that. I'd rather for you to have something that you're happy with and you're going to use and you're going to get the best use out of it than leaving it in the garage. That wouldn't make me happy either. Why can't you just say, I don't want the espresso machine, Mom. We're no longer drinking it. But I'll keep it here at the house for you when you come. And you should have kept it at the house for Mommy when Mommy came, as opposed to giving it to Miss Katrina, Miss Lewis, and allowing her and all of your office mates to use it because you never knew if Mommy was going to come.
I mean, I figured it'd be a nice gesture to her.
It was
Plus,
a
she
nice
drinking
gesture.
those
It was so
energy
nice
drinks.
that she doesn't have to pay you back, and it's so nice that it's now broken and you had to buy a new one. Judgment for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
If you would have been nice, you would have just bought me a new machine after it broke.
$379 is a lot of money to spend on something you don't even use. Grow up and tell your mommy that you don't drink coffee.
Coming up.
So, you just need to be quiet. Now, why in the world do you think you have something to say? Shut your mouth.
I would never have
What did I say? Quit while you're ahead.
Judge Network featuring dynamic judges and live legal programming.
Well, we're not at your school. We're in my courtroom.
Unique court shows.
Where is any information about the company?
Live legal news.
That's what you should have done.
And a commitment to justice.
Either you tried or you did it.
The next generation of court programming in one dynamic network. Justice Central. You're watching Justice Central. Stay tuned. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Bobby Coates is suing Alicia Mitchell in the amount of $2,500. Mr. Coates claims Ms. Mitchell stopped payment on a check after purchasing a car from him as is. Ms. Mitchell claims the plaintiff sold her a lemon because the car caught on fire 3 days after she purchased it.
In the matter of Bobby Coates versus Alicia Mitchell, Mr. Coates, you're suing Ms. Mitchell for $2,500. Say you sold her a car and then she drove off with the car and never paid you back. Ms. Mitchell says the car was a lemon. She's also asking you to pay her $225 for the tow fees. So let me hear your side.
I first met Miss Mitchell in church about 8 months ago. I noticed one day I observed Miss Mitchell getting off a bus. And I was wondering whether or not she would be interested in buying my mother's car. My mother can't drive anymore because of her eyesight. So I approached her and she said she would be interested in taking a look at the car. So we made arrangements for her to come and check out the car and took it for a test drive. She brought the car back and said she wanted to buy it. We agreed on a price of $2,500. She wrote me a check and I deposited the check that same day. A few days later, I called my bank to see whether or not the check had cleared. And that's when I discovered that the check had bounced. Okay, after that, I tried several times, many times, as a matter of fact, to contact Miss Mitchell.
All right, on Saturday and Wednesday, the check bounces. Let me hear your version.
I went to the house. When I first arrived there, I was checking the car out, and I smelled some gasoline. He said, I was trying to take it to the gas station to put some gas in it, but it didn't make it there. So I had to come back and put some gas in it, and some of it spilled out. And I said, okay, I'm looking around the car, and his neighbor was there, and he said, if you don't buy that car, I'm gonna buy it. And I said, well, okay, well, maybe I might need to consider buying it then, if, that's a good first impression. So I took the car for a test drive. I didn't notice anything with the car at the moment.
Coming up.
And
So you just need to be quiet. Now, why in the world do you think you have something to say? Shut your mouth.
I would never have
What did I say? Quit while you're ahead.
We're back with the case of Bobby Coates, who is suing Alicia Mitchell for $2,500.
It started off a little slow, but I figured,
It had
you know,
been
it'd been
sitting
sitting
up for
there for a
2 years,
while,
right?
but you know, that's okay. It was drivable. And I said, it's $2,500. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this.
So
now.
you smell gasoline and you still didn't go check it out?
In the car, I didn't smell any gasoline. You know,
Oh, okay.
It was fine. Shortly after, I'm driving to work. I'm on the highway. The car started to smoke. I got out. I happened to look under the side by the wheel, and I see some flame there. Next thing I know, the car is up in flames. Fire department came, and they said, sure enough, there was a gas leak.
So then you decided I'm not gonna pay him, and you put a stop payment on the check?
Oh, it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. I had to exit the freeway. I walked at my heels with my purse down the side of the freeway. I called Uber to come pick me up and just take me home. I was called on Tuesday, the following day, saying that I had to move the car from the side of the freeway because it was a hazard. If I hadn't did that, they would charge me $50 a day.
Okay, so then you had it towed? That's the $225?
I had it towed, yeah.
Okay.
I had it towed to his house.
All right, now what happened to the check?
You know, when I realized that the car
Check
was on
bounced,
flames and I needed that $225 to pay for towing, I called the bank and I canceled it. I used some of that.
So you put a stop payment on the check?
I did.
Did you know about a gas leak?
Nothing at all about a gas leak.
You know
wanna,
about a gas
if I could show my evidence of how good this car looks?
Show me. I don't care about looks. Do
Well-
you have any evidence of maintenance?
My mother drove the car for 16 of the years.
Judge Mablean's verdict when justice with Judge Mablean returned.
Did you
That
tell
is-
her it had been sitting for 2 years?
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
I did
was not
so.
aware of
I
that,
told her
Your
the
Honor.
car had been sitting.
Did you ask any questions about the condition of the car, why it was sitting?
You know, I thought about calling my mechanic, and then I called him. He was unavailable.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Miss Mitchell. When you buy a used car from another person, you buy it as is, whatever condition it's in. You assume all the risk and responsibility for it because they're not giving you any warranty against anything. Unless he had knowledge that something was wrong with it and told you a lie and said there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But he didn't say that. And he didn't say that. He said I had no knowledge of a gasoline problem. So then the burden is on you to have it checked out before you purchase it. There's no 3-day waiting period. There's no cancellation of the contract. It's just you lose money. And that's the risk of buying a used car from a person.
And
so
you
you just need to be quiet. You don't have anything else to say. Now, why in the world do you think you have something to say?
Because
Shut your mouth. It's bad enough that she has to pay. She owes you money for it.
I would never have sold.
What did I say? Quit while you're ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,500.
You knew something was wrong with that car, and you still sold it to me. I could have lost my life.
I'm sorry the car caught fire and put you in jeopardy, but you bought it as is, and that's what you got.